Namaste students. Today's topic is different forms of public sector undertakings. As you all know, these are the enterprises which are under the complete control of government. They are owned, managed and controlled by the government only. Their financing is also done by the government. These are the enterprises whose decision making power is also in the hand of government. There are three forms of public sector undertakings: departmental undertakings, statutory corporations, and government companies. The different forms of business organization under public sector. A very first is departmental undertaking. It refers to that public enterprise which is run as a part of government department under the direction of concerned ministry. Yes, these departmental undertakings are the most oldest and the traditional form of public enterprises. These are the features of departmental undertaking. A very first feature is formation. The formation of departmental undertaking is very easy. When the government think of making the departmental undertakings, the government can establish. They can easily form the departmental undertaking. There is no need to take any permission and there is no need of registration. The next is ownership. These enterprises are owned by the government only. They are under the complete control of government. The decision making power is in the hand of government only. And the management is done through the concerned ministry. The decision making power is in the hand of government, and on the behalf of government, the concerned ministries can take decisions. Next is financing. The financing of these enterprises is done through the government only by passing the annual budget. Whatever these undertakings earns, that goes to the pool of government, and whatever expenditure occurs, that is borne by the government only. So, the complete financing is done by the government only. Next is appointments. The recruitments, appointments under the departmental undertaking is made through the UPSC and SSB, which is Union Public Selection Commission and SSB Staff Selection Board. They only recruit the person under departmental undertakings, and yes, these persons are known as a government employees. Next, sixth point is no separate entity. Yes, these departmental undertakings run as a part of government only. They don't have any separate legal entity. It means they cannot buy any property in their names. So, whatever they will buy, that will be owned by the government only. So, the government and the departmental undertakings are one. Next is administrative autonomy. This administrative autonomy means the freedom in decision making power. They don't have any kind of freedom in decision making. All the decisions are taken up by the government only, and for each and every step they have to ask from the government. Next is suitability, where these departmental undertakings are suitable, where the utmost secrecy plays a vital role, where the complete control of government is required. In that areas, the departmental undertaking is suitable. For example, Post and Telegraph Department, Defense, when it comes to the security of a country, atomic energy projects, Indian Railways, and the other big industries where the capital requirement is more, where the departmental undertakings takes initiative and the government takes initiative with the help of these departmental undertakings. next form of business organization under public sector is statutory corporation. These statutory corporations are known as public corporations also. It refers to that public enterprise which is created by a special act of parliament or state legislature. Yes, these are formed under a special act of parliament which is passed by the government only. These are the features of statutory corporation. A very first feature is formation. As I told you, they establish under a special act passed in a parliament. They are formed by the government only. Next is ownership. Yes, they are owned by the government only. These statutory corporations are under the control of government. The decision making power is in the hand of government only. Next is management. The management of these corporations is done by the board of director. And yes, these board of directors are elected by the government only. They are nominated by the government. Next is financing. The financing. As the departmental undertaking, the statutory corporation's financing is also done by the government. The finance is given by the government only. But if required, they can borrow from general public also. Next is appointments. They have their own rules and regulation regarding the appointments of their employees and the remuneration which they give to their employees. Next is have separate legal entity. Yes, they have separate legal entity. They can purchase assets of their own name. They can have contract with the third party. They can be sued and others and can also be sued by others. So they are separate than the government. Next is administrative autonomy. See, statutory corporations, it's passed under the Act of Parliament. They are formed under the Act of Parliament, and this Act only defines the rules and regulation, powers, functions and the relationship with the government department. So they are free to take decisions and they can act related to they can use their powers for taking decisions. Clear? So they have administrative autonomy, they have freedom in their decision making. Their powers and their functions are defined by the Act only. So you can say there is no political interference. Next is suitability, where these statutory corporations are suitable, where the public interest is at most priority, you can say, or much capital is required. There the government forms the statutory corporations, and the examples are Air India, UTI means Unit Trust of India, RBI, Reserve Bank of India is also a public corporation, Oil and Natural Gas Commission, Industrial Development Bank of India, etc. These are the example of public corporations. Next is government companies. It refers to that public enterprises which has minimum 51% of paid-up capital in the name of central government or state government, or partially with the central government or one or two state governments. The government companies are of two types. First is fully owned. Fully owned government companies. It means the entire capital is invested by the government only. Second is mixed ownership government companies, where the government take helps of private entrepreneur also. When the company is run by the government as well as by the private person, it known as a mixed ownership government companies. But the condition is maximum shares should be with the government only. As I told you, minimum 51% shares should be with the government and rest can be with the private persons. Now come to the features of government company. A very first feature is formation. The formation of government companies is same as a companies which formed under a private sectors. The government companies are also formed under a Company Act 2013. They follow a very difficult and a lengthy procedure to form ownership. As I told you, the maximum ownership is with the government. The 51% share is with the government. So you can say there is a can be a mixed ownership of government companies. Next, management. Management is done by the board of directors, which are elected by the government as well as by the private persons. Financing. See, these government companies are formed under Company Act 2013. So same, the financing is also done by the government as well as by the private entrepreneurs. They both invest capital in government companies, and yes, these government companies can borrow money from the general public also. They can issue their shares to the general public and can raise fund from the public. Next, appointments. For the appointment, or you can say for the recruitment of employees, they have their own conditions. According to that condition only they recruit the persons. And yes, say the employees like under the departmental undertaking, they are not known as a government employees. They are the employees only. After that, administrative autonomy. Yes, they have complete freedom in decision making part. Decisions are taken up by the board of directors only, which are elected by the government as well as by the private persons. Next is suitability, where they are suitable. These government companies are suitable where the economic industries are to be encouraged, where the government also wants to earn revenue, where there the government established the government companies. Examples are Hindustan Machine Tools Limited, Coal India Limited, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, and the examples are Hindustan Machine Tool Limited, Coal India Limited, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, National Fertilizer Limited, etc. These are the example of government companies. Now, I hope the different forms of business organization which comes under public sectors are clear to you.